Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. I'm your hostess, HeatherHrz, here with a special episode of Artist Fireside Chat. I'm here with my co-host, Nytmare, and really excited to have with us this evening international producer, DJ, artist, songwriter, cellist, mental health advocate, and creatrix of the WonderQuest, which I'm so excited to talk to her about tonight. Alison Wonderland, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here because I just really want to talk about the WonderQuest. I'm so excited about it. It's really awesome. So yeah.
Okay, I'll just start from the beginning. So what inspired you to create this world?
Honestly, just my brain. I'm a huge fan of like 80s fantasy films. That's my favorite genre. And Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. Fantasy is my favorite genre of life in any part of my life. And I've always kind of fantasized about so many things that I haven't really been able to do in the meat space, which is a term I learned recently and I love. And when I learned about the metaverse, it kind of sparked something in me. And I was like, wait a second, I can build things in here. I can create another reality that's real and is being taken seriously. Hell yeah, I would love to do all of that. And that is just, honestly, this is just an extension of my mind that I can't achieve in meat space. And, totally. You know, I met an amazing team because obviously with the tech side of things, I don't know how to do any of that. And they have really helped me genuinely create exactly what was going on in my mind. And that is just insane to me. And this is honestly just the beginning because I have so many ideas, and obviously being a creative like I am, all I have is weird imaginative ideas. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be a part of all of this. And you know, I kind of waited a little while for the right time to launch this because I wanted to get it right and I wanted to translate, you know, my vision correctly. And this feels like the right time, and I'm really happy with how everything's going so far, and it's had such a great response. And again, like, we're just going to keep giving and giving more things and creating more experiences in the metaverse.
That's amazing. And I just, before I forget, speaking of giving and giving, we have 2 giveaways going on tonight. For the whale community, we are giving away a dragon egg, which I want to talk about those in a minute. And exclusively for those who are here tonight, we're going to be giving away a wearable, which serves as your ticket for entry for the party in Decentraland at Temple of Wonderland. This is on August 1st, right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
What time?
I'm not sure the actual time. So that day I'm actually also playing at Lollapalooza.
Oh, yes. Oh, amazing.
Really, I'm playing in Meat Space and in the metaverse, and I love that. I feel like I'm you know,
cloned.
Not even cloned. What's the word? Like I don't know. Yeah, maybe cloned. It's cool. It's cool that I'm doing this because they're both real, and it's just crazy that I can be in 2 places in one day and 2 realities. I don't know. The sci-fi nerd in me loves it.
Yeah. I saw your interview with Metakey, which was really great.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm all about the idea that this VR space is now another dimension that we get to exist in and explore and express ourselves in ways that you don't get to do in meat space because it's just not even physically possible. But like 100%. Now you can have like neon iridescent skin or something, and like dragon wings if you want.
Yeah, exactly. You can have a pet dragon. Exactly. And for those who did miss the Metakey interview, the first way I really understood the metaverse was from VR chat actually. And I bought an Oculus and I went into VR chat, and I realized that there was a whole nother world existing even in that world. And so when I started learning more and more about Decentraland and the metaverse and existing in that, like, it made a lot of sense because I'd had a taste of it in VR chat. And I loved that people were forming real bonds, real relationships, these are real experiences, and there were experiences that people couldn't necessarily have really in meet space, whether it be, I mean, honestly, like, you get to travel wherever you want and experience these fantasy things that are genuinely real if you're going to take it seriously, which everyone is. And that's also why I love the community, because they're taking this seriously. And I think this is the start of a whole new type of way of living.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like, for better or for worse, the pandemic kind of made it a necessity that, we've kind of just dove into this like whole VR world of just video chatting and having DJ sets in Decentraland and stuff like that. And it's so normal now. So it's kind of good that we had this like preparation period, because now it's like, I don't know, the world's our oyster. We've had all this time to hibernate and come up with great ideas. I'm really excited to see this space and experience it with an actual headset. I haven't gotten to do that yet. It's probably going to be amazing. I just want to note, somebody asked in the chat how they enter the giveaways. So just before I ask the next question, so we have 2 giveaways going on. There's 2 things happening. We have a tweet from last week that you will need to like and retweet. And since you're already here in the Discord, you've already joined the Discord, and you have to follow the WonderQuest and Whale community. It's a lot of things. Lucian and Dakota will be taking care of that. Hold on, I'm going to share that tweet right now. So that's one giveaway. This is the giveaway for the egg. And then if you retweet the live stream that's happening right now, or actually, here. I apologize for my awkwardness, everybody.
Hey, you're not being awkward. You're being dope. And
thank you. I'm multitasking.
You're killing it.
Okay, great. All right, guys. So all you have to do to join the giveaway for the wearable is, I'm going to post this in the stream text, and you just have to click the little heart there and react to it, and you will be entered in the giveaway for the wearable to join the party in Decentraland. All right, cool.
Awesome. Hey guys, I feel like I just got to interject because I've been just sitting silently in awe. And this was originally Heather had scheduled, this interview to speak with you, Alison. And when Justin and I had seen it, it just really pulled at our geek heartstrings, like the authenticity of it. We were like, this is coming from someone who's a genuine gamer. This is coming from someone who genuinely appreciates fantasy and these elements. The way it was so fully integrated, it was really apparent. And, I'm sure you've seen with some of your contemporaries, like there's a lot of cash grabs and people trying to get involved in the NFT space just because they think it's the thing to do. And we were looking at this and saying, wow, this is very unique. There's a lot of cool elements from the gamification. And you could tell from your videos that you put, like this was coming from you, not just handlers. So props to you for that. And especially personally, props for the 80s fantasy call out. I am very disappointed. I am very disappointed they did not renew the Dark Crystal on Netflix. I thought it was dope, the season 1 that they did.
It was so dope. I actually just had like a huge rewatch of all my favorite 80s fantasy films recently to get me hyped up for this project. So I'm like, I feel the same way about that series. It was really good.
Hey, maybe someone will hatch a Falcor. Maybe someone will hatch a Luck Dragon. Imagine that.
Oh yeah, that would be sick. That would be so sick.
Well, anyway, I'll hand it back to Heather. I just wanted to give you that props right there.
Oh, thank you so much.
You can absolutely interject whenever you want. You always have amazing questions. That's why I wanted you to co-host with me, because you're an amazing lyricist yourself, and also super nerded out over this project. So
yes, I am.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that means a lot, honestly. Like, you know what's cool is that this is like, when you mentioned people doing things for cash grabs, and I said this in the interview before, but I think people can kind of tell, and even if they can't, there's just no longevity to things like that. And I'm really here for the long haul. And personally, I can't really put myself into something if I don't love it, or I won't work at it, if that makes sense. Like I'm really bad at being like, dude, like there's this guilt in me. Like I don't want to project something onto anyone. Like it makes me feel really weird and uncomfortable. So it's really easy for me to work on the WonderQuest and do this because I love it, and it was like my idea, and like it's just super exciting. And in terms of gamifying it later, there's plans to do stuff like that, and I'm just really excited. I don't know, it's crazy seeing it come to life, and there's so many things I can't tell you guys yet, which I know, and it's you're gonna geek out.
So I do have a question. You mentioned your exposure with VR chat and obviously Decentraland and things of that nature. Did you have experience with cryptocurrencies and NFTs prior as well?
Yeah, like I'm just gonna be really honest about this because this is genuinely how I got into crypto. And I told this story the other day too, but I'll tell it again. The first time I even really knew what crypto was I don't know, quite a few years ago, but I was drunk in Vegas, playing blackjack.
Always the start of a good story.
And someone at the table had said, we got talking, and he's like, have you heard of Bitcoin? You should get into that. And I was wasted, and the way that it was explained to me, I was like, oh, sick, you can buy weird shit on the dark web with a currency no one can really, this is cool. Like that's kind of where my head went. And right. I was like, well, one day if there's a zombie apocalypse and like all the currencies go down except for Bitcoin, I'll be fine. Like that's like kind of where my head was. So I call my business manager, I'm like, let's like Bitcoin. And he's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, do it. And that's kind of how it started. And it was before it went really crazy. So I was kind of lucky with the timing on that too. And that's kind of when I started paying more attention to it. And I think once you do kind of know the existence of crypto, it starts popping up and you're more aware of it when you see it, on Twitter or wherever. So I started kind of becoming more and more aware of it. And then when it came to NFTs, I had a friend who during the pandemic, he said to me, oh, there's this, because everyone was out of work at the time. And so he was kind of like, there's a different way to kind of get your art across now. Did you know that? And I'm like, where? And he explained what an NFT was, and that there was a community that was growing, and I became aware of it through that. And then around the same time, due to me being stuck in my house and needing to get outside, I bought an Oculus, and I went into VR chat. So weirdly, I didn't realize that the VR chat, like understanding metaverse thing, was tied in with NFT world at all at the time. But I educated myself weirdly in both that way, just from speaking to people and just kind of self-discovery, out of just really trying to stay sane during the pandemic. But I think it's really cool. And what I do like is that the community is still seemingly underground. So everything's growing. And I'm sure, like, to everyone in the community, like, what are you talking about? It's so commercial now. But not really, because coming from me and trying to explain it to people, if it were commercial, my dad would understand it, and he doesn't understand it. Like it's still really, really, I mean, like, I have a lot of friends that don't even know about this. Like, I haven't even been able to, I tried to explain, because I'm so excited about this project, I've tried to explain it to all my friends and family, and everyone's just like, huh? The what? Right. Where? You're building what? Dragons? You can do that? How? Who? How? What is Discord? Like, it's just like so many questions. And I think people just aren't, like, it's not, I don't think that what is happening in this part of the world that we're involved in and talking about is really getting correctly represented in the mainstream media yet. And I think that like no one's really taken the time to really kind of actually explain what's going on. What I always see is like, this artist did this for this much money. And it's never like, hey, people are living and existing and like creating and building another world right now that you don't fucking know about. Like, no one's talking about that. They will, but they're not right now.
That's what happens with a lot of, you know, groundbreaking technology, right? There's resistance at first and people don't understand it, and so they demonize it, and then before you know it, everyone has a smartphone and has a Facebook or whatever it is, right? I remember my parents telling me they never hold a cell phone. They don't need that. Now, you know, now I can't get them off of it when I want to. So it's probably similar in vein. But you mentioned mentioned the pandemic, and I find that interesting because in two ways it really helped foster, you know, if there's any silver lining with being in quarantine, it's that people had an opportunity to just really get their creative juices flowing. But I think, you know, with regards to the metaverse, there was a need for people to socialize, to have experiential things and be able to socialize with other people. And that provided that platform, like Heather mentioned.
Yeah.
And I know for you, you know, you're all about the experience, right? Like your music and your art form, the experience is a big part of that. That's why you want to throw shows in warehouses as opposed to giant arenas sometimes and things like that. So I can totally see why you'd be excited about this.
Yeah, I like creating experiences and I like creating worlds where people are, you know, I mean, honestly, my tagline, "Fuck me up on a spiritual level," is really about that. It's not really about a religion. It's more just, you know, honestly, it came about because I was playing a show in New Orleans. I wasn't feeling the energy from the crowd. And for me, like a good show is feeling this energy and feeling like everyone's kind of like, I don't know,
feeling
like
it. They're
meshing with each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's on the same vibe and there's this energy you can't explain. And so I was on stage and I was like, I just need you guys to fuck me up right now on a spiritual level. Like, get up, like forget about your phones. This is an experience, you know, be present, be here. Like we are here right now. And, you know, that's basically my whole, you know, goal playing shows is creating experiences and having people not only escape, but at the same time be grounded again. It's this whole thing. And, you know, come back down to earth. Everyone's so busy. Like there's just so much going on and everyone's so overstimulated these days that I think being able to just enjoy music and a show and really just be in your own body, grounded but also not on this planet is like a special thing. And it's, you know, it's healing, and there's a reason people like to go to shows and concerts because it makes them feel good. There's a community, which, you know, again, like music communities remind me a little bit of the NFT community. I mean, because it is very culty, and people, when they're in and they're really involved. And I find that with my shows too, which is great. I appreciate it.
You kind of just blew my mind talking about, you know, people grounding themselves, because for so long it would bother me to see at a performance people holding up their cell phones and taking a video of their experience, or like not totally present. You know, they had that what seemed like to me a layer between them and what was happening with the performer. And now with this tech, it's almost like you've merged, right? Now it's symbiotic, right? They are part of the tech and literally in the performance with you. So I'm trying to wrap my head around it, but you kind of got the smoke coming out of my ears at the moment. Very cool stuff.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting, I mean, I spend a lot of time thinking about this. This is obviously, I don't know, this is what sparks me. This is what keeps me here, is this kind of stuff. Because I don't know, most other things in the world, I wouldn't say, I don't know, I'm not like the most outgoing, like, I don't know. I'm better online or at a show or in my studio than
totally understand that. Yeah.
Than doing sport or, you know.
Because you're yourself. You're fully yourself in those moments. You're being fully self-expressed on stage, or when you're in the studio, or just at home, you know.
Yeah, and I just get social anxiety. Like when I go out, I don't really unless it's at like a small dinner with my friends, like going to a party, it's the last thing I want to do. And which is funny because I DJ, which is probably why I DJ, because I like to be in the corner.
Yeah, and hidden. Like people can see you, or you can see them, but they can't see you. Is like
they can see me.
DJ. Yeah. I mean, your shows are a whole amazing spectacle, and everything is so immersive. Like you said, it's this whole experience to bring people in, and also to have them escape whatever their reality is outside of that moment. And that's what's so amazing about shows. Like I'm a huge drum and bass fan and junglist. I'm also a DJ, and like I love raves, and I just there's something that is just so special about certain moments and spaces, and there's just certain nights that you just never forget. And I think what's so cool is that now you're creating a space in the metaverse now, and that feeling can still be created even though we're not like physically together. That excitement, that connection is still there, even with an Oculus.
It's true. It's true. I felt that. I did a show with The Wave last year called the WonderQuest, and it was like my first experience doing a show like that, and I really did feel like everyone was together. It was quite emotional for me because I could see everyone's names popping up and comments, and we would project the fans like on a screen, and it just really does feel, I mean, it's as real as you want it to be, and it feels real.
Yeah, that's true. It's as real as you want it to be.
Yeah, and of course, like similar to what you guys are talking about, I saw a rock band that I was a huge fan of growing up. I saw them in arenas, but I saw them in a show I saw a Korn show, but it was for their anniversary tour in a tiny club in Boston. So it was 2,000 people sweaty, throwing elbows at each other. It was like a riot / Mad Max. The vibe and the energy there was just crazy. And so like that environment made a difference. And the cool thing about what you're doing is you literally can curate the environment, right? Flame pylons, temple, whatever atmosphere. We can have blood dripping on walls. You can make it however awesome you want and really
and you can change it. The thing is, you can change it. That's the best part of it, is like, oh, tomorrow I want blood dripping down the walls, but the next day I want rainbows coming out of the windows. Like, it's so easy to change it. And there's some really talented artists doing that, which is great too. The people
did you want to? I saw that you were working with BYO Pills to create the experiences. Like, how did that collaboration go?
That was through my team, who are really talented, and they kind of, I didn't really know where to start or where to look, in terms of artists. That to me felt a bit foreign. So, they kind of suggested some things, and, when it felt right, it felt right. And so, yeah, I was just like,
that's cool. Oh, did it just freeze?
Oh God, did I just disappear?
No, temporarily.
Oh wait,
paused.
It was just a second. Now it's back.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I went into the metaverse for a second, I guess. Or are we in the metaverse right now? Because it is online, and we're not really talking in real meat space. So, what kind of verse are we in right now?
I'm not really sure. I'm always questioning whether or not we're in a simulation. And
I'm not high enough
starting
for
to
this.
think we are.
Yeah.
Later. I'm so excited because we have a lot of questions from the community too. And I have a bunch of questions too, so I don't even know where to start. But how about what other games have you played, and what specifically has inspired WonderQuest? This is from Subspace.
Honestly, Dungeons and Dragons is the main inspiration. I'm gonna be really lame because I don't want to admit this. Fuck it. Do I just admit it? This isn't cool. Like, I'm not like underplaying something that's about to be cool. No, but like during quarantine, I got way too into Animal Crossing, and this is not at all inspired.
Like 3 months.
But honestly, the WonderQuest to me is inspired more by Dungeons and Dragons and like the 80s fantasy films that I love, rather than just games. So yeah, like that would be like the main thing. But yeah, in terms of other games, I would say like the main one I got into was Animal Crossing, and it like got really intense. I didn't know Animal Crossing could get that intense. But I spent way too many hours on it.
It does. I had to stop. It was like at the beginning of quarantine. I was playing it way too much. I was like, I'm neglecting things that I should be focusing on, like in real life.
Yeah, it got really bad. My friend was like 420 hours, 400, whatever. But it was like that many hours. What are you doing on there? Like, what are you building? It's just like I got too deep.
And Iliscavia was asking specifically, what are the 80s fantasy films that you were into?
Okay, obviously The Dark Crystal, yes. And The Princess Bride, Return to Oz, which is really sick.
Good one.
Yeah, love that movie.
So creepy.
There's a movie called Young Sherlock Holmes. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's by the guy that directed the Harry Potter movies, and it was before Harry Potter was even written, and it's freakishly very Harry Potter. And then, you've got like the cheesy like 80s stuff like Beastmaster, and like, I mean, I could go on. There's like so many. I'm like, I love that.
Our community loves it. You're also allowed to curse, so don't worry. You can say you love that shit.
I love that.
When you said Return to Oz, I just had all these traumatic flashbacks to
the
wheelers
and the heads. Oh,
what a juxtaposition with the first one, right? So
yeah, I love it. I love that movie so much. It's crazy. Yeah.
Just to ground some people, because we're getting some questions here, and I know we're so excited about what you're putting together and what it is, that I think it'd benefit it if we could just give a little synopsis of, hey, here's the project, here's the drop, what it encapsulates, kind of just top line.
Okay, so the WonderQuest is kind of like, this is the start of it, and we have eggs that we're selling right now, and they're selling really well, so thank you guys for believing in what I'm doing. It means a lot. And basically we've got different breeds of dragons, and you get an egg and you don't actually know really what you're getting, and then there's like different rarities for the dragons and all this kind of stuff. And here you go, so you can see them. And they all have backstories. And the best part of it all is that every single dragon of the 10,000 are different. They all have different features. There's not one that is the same. And that makes me really happy. So, like one will have the wings in a certain position, or be sitting on like something different, or, just be slightly different than the other. So everything's completely different with every dragon. And then you can actually choose whether or not to hatch it yourself and find out, or like, give it to someone else and unhatched. So that's really fun. That's kind of like, honestly, I don't know if you guys, there's this like nostalgic childhood feeling when buying something you don't really know what's going to be inside. Like, did you guys have Kinder Surprises?
Yeah.
Kinder
eggs. Oh, yeah.
It's like a Kinder Surprise crossed with you'd always get your Pokemon cards or your Pogs, depending on how old you are. And, you'd open the packet, or like the baseball cards, basketball cards. You wouldn't really know what was in there. So there's this excitement, what's rare? Like, what am I getting? And again, there's like, we've stuck to, keeping it pretty much accurate to like dragon fairy tale land. Like, if people actually are nerds on dragons, they won't be disappointed. So that's just a start. And then of course I've given some wearables out, which are robes, and that is a ticket to the event on the 1st, which is at, now I found out, 6 p.m. EST. And that's really cool. I'm not really sure what else I'm allowed to say right now, to be honest. But this is just the beginning, and I'm going to be doing more things to do with this. I don't know. Let me...
I had a few questions, if you don't mind. And I see that you have, I think, over 4,000 left, right? So you're over halfway sold through. So there's still opportunity for people to get in. I think they will once they see all the cool stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, they just went up yesterday. So...
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, and of course, gas is going crazy right now, of course, because everybody's trying to snag some of these cool collectibles that are coming out.
Womp
But
womp.
yours has a lot of utility. Now, the hatch or not to hatch, if I understand it correctly by reading the light paper, like the longer you hold on to it, the more things that happen and opportunities there are for you. But if you hatch it, there's stuff like dragon battling that'll happen. There's voting rights associated with the eggs. I mean, there's so much going on here. You're going to publish a comic. There's a lot of nuance and layers to this.
Yes, and there's a lot of rewards that come with getting the dragon egg. It's going to be a virtual ticket to all of my experiences that I will be doing in Decentraland and possibly other things later on. And I'm just really, I don't know. I just don't know how much I can say right now because like for me it's exciting to be like, surprise, this is happening. Surprise this. So right. I'm just not sure how much I want to say, but I am really excited. And like when I was like, are you serious? I can fucking build dragon eggs and they're all like, to me it's crazy, with the AI technology of like creating things that are all completely different, like actually making that happen 10,000 times blows my mind, and it's really cool as well. And I just like the fact that they all have their own stories and what lands they're from and how much they weigh and blah 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 blah. It's exciting. It's really exciting. I could go on about it. I was telling my dad about it for about 2 hours the other night, and he's like, "Okay, can I finally talk now?" I'm like, "No, I haven't finished." So.
There was a comment from the community I just wanted to share. They were like, hey, if you guys look at this, you should really read the lore. This is awesome stuff. So people giving some feedback on, the level of depth and detail that you guys went to.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail in this. Again, like, I did base this a lot on Dungeons and Dragons, and there is a lot of detail and history with Dungeons and Dragons with every character and everything. So I wanted to kind of bring that to this, and I wanted to show people that there is like a real story being written. And thank you so much for my team, and I'm sure they're watching right now, but they really helped me go deep and like do this properly. I wanted to make sure that at least even though this is the start, there's still so much detail going on with this that they know that it's like legit and real.
If I understand correctly, after you receive your egg, you already have an opportunity to go on a quest for some incremental stuff that we don't want to spoil, but stuff begins right then.
I can't say anything.
Yeah, is this right? You're going to have a hatching ceremony?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I mean, yes, there's going to be a.
Is that what's on the first, or that's just a party? The hatching is on the first.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. Fuck.
All right, but we don't want to get you in trouble, but it sounds exciting. It sounds like some kind of ritual that I want to be there to witness.
Yes, sure. This is a ritual. We're building our own, thing. Yeah, okay, I can say it. The hatching ceremony is on the first. But yeah, this is like a thing. We're going to stand there in our little robes and hatch our fucking dragon.
Love it. Oh my gosh. Do we do a blood oath too in the metaverse?
Sure. I have a fire circle, so yeah. And my performance is going to be celebrating the hatching.
And by the way, I have my red robe, so I was already ready. Now some people have black robes, right?
Yeah. So the black robes. Okay. So this is something that was really important to me. My fans are like the most important people to me. They're basically family, and I know a lot of people say that, but it's true. You can ask all of them. We're very close, and I didn't want to alienate anyone from this experience, and I wanted to introduce them to the metaverse in a way where it wasn't intimidating or pretentious feeling. So I invited them to the Discord, and the black robes were for free, a gift to my fans. And that is a ticket to the show. And then they own the wearable. But I wanted to do that because, not everyone who, goes to my shows can possibly afford, things like that. And I don't want anyone to feel excluded. And I want people to see how cool it is in this other world. And I think, a lot of people find, the world of NFTs and the metaverse right now still quite intimidating. And for me to help, like widen the community and bring in more, I don't know, bring in like a more diverse crowd of people into here is something that I really want to do. And hopefully they have fun walking around, because I know when the robes dropped, they were just like, where the fuck am I? You know, they're just like standing in this fire circle. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, and when you walk in there and the music hits, I'm sure that's pretty cool to people that aren't familiar with the NFT space, but it is the people that are. When we were in our pre-production, we said, wow, this was a really innovative and cool way for you to be able to onboard your fans and have them take part. You basically walked them through it and said, hey, you don't need to invest. Come, let us show you what this is all about. If you want to participate, you can. If not, this is really cool. Come check it out and be a part of it.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, for me, this is not like a money grab thing. Like, I'm genuinely like into this, and I want my fans to be in here and know that I'm not just like trying to get something out of them. And I really do want to build something interesting in Decentraland, which is what I'm doing. And I believe that it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people were posting pictures of themselves in the fire circle, like they're Neo in the Matrix floating over it.
Oh yeah, there were a bunch of robed people.
It was a selfie location, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Even people popping in by themselves to take a look.
Great.
And my understanding is, you know, by taking part in this, you know, it opens up the opportunity for future things that you want to do experiential in Decentraland, live performances, listening parties,
yes,
exclusive tracks, unreleased content. So if anyone's a fan of yours, this is really, you're getting unprecedented access.
And if you're not, you know, this is also like what the whole WonderQuest isn't really just only about that. Like, this is going to be a fun game that I'm building, and it's like a fantasy game. So, you know, if you don't know who I am and you're learning about me from yes, my baby. Isn't that cool? Sorry, I'm like so distracted by this. I'm so stoked on it.
Oh my gosh, the music is so loud for me.
Heather, you need to grab an Oculus. It's so different when you go in VR. It's game changing.
Hold on 1 second. I cannot hear you guys. And
that sounds like everyone at my shows.
No, I'm so bad at this. I have to stop. I'm like, forget it. Hold up. Yeah, that's super cool. It is. I have an Oculus. I need to go in there. I wish that I could like share my Oculus point of view. That would be super cool. Me
too. I know. Every time I have it on and like I've got friends over, I'm like, oh my god, I wish it. Like, I probably look like this, and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm just like floating around in CV. I'm naked just, like, in CV all the time.
Arms flailing around. Yeah.
Running through walls because I can't navigate at all. Yeah, still
feeling. I always feel seasick at some point, and I get really sick, and I'm like, I'll be back in maybe a day or two. It just like gets so intense to me in there. Like,
it does. Right. It does. Oh yeah, Justin was like, just mute the tab, and I just could not do it fast enough. Let me go back in there and do that. I panicked. We have a lot of questions from the group, though. You know, I was looking at your map, and it said, somebody asked, what is your preferred metaverse platform? Decentraland, Sandbox, or something else? But I saw on your map that you're kind of planning to take over everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, because there's more like gaming options with other things too. And I mean, again, like I'm not really trying to give too much away right now, but I am obviously developing things and planning things for, you know, like the thing is, like, these places are all different, you know. I feel like Decentraland is like more of like a social thing, and then like Sandbox is more like of a gaming community. So I want to like do different things in different areas. So yeah, that's kind of like the plan.
Yeah, hopefully. A couple of people have asked, like, is it a place or is it a game? It sounds like it's
in everything.
It's in everything.
It's a whole universe. Way of life. It is. I'm building a world.
That's amazing. I'm really excited. Justin was asking, for the different breeds of dragon, are there any differences outside of aesthetics? A difference in the WonderQuest outside of aesthetics?
Yeah, there's like rarity levels. and stuff like that. So some are way more rare than others, which I think is like the biggest difference. And then obviously the backstories are all different. So like I mentioned before, they're all, you know, from different places, they're different sizes, they weigh different amounts, they're different types of people, you know, like it's, yeah. So it's not just aesthetic, it's deeper than that.
There was another question. Doragon wants to know, do the hatch dragons grow over time? Do they change or evolve?
They do not. You get a dragon, yeah.
Oh, and are you going to be able to breed the dragons eventually? Or you can't tell us
actually a really good idea. No, that's a good idea. I'm going to write that down. You know what? Yes, because I'm going to make that happen. And I've just been told by my team on the side, possibly. So, yeah, like, let's do that. You have just given me a really good idea. I didn't even think about that. So,
big up subspace.
Hell yeah.
For that idea.
So, like, if that happens, you're basically, like, you'll know that you just really, I don't know, inspired me.
Oh.
That would be sick. Love that.
Justin was asking if the differences will affect gameplay with the dragons.
What do you mean? Like
I guess they would have different powers, so probably. I think.
Oh yeah, it's like, so just think Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I mean, I'm saying like this is the most that's the only way I can really compare it. But like, yeah, like say you're an Eladrin elf sorcerer against like a, I don't know, like a troll or whatever in Dungeons and Dragons, the way that you guys play each other will be different because you'll have different abilities. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'm getting distracted by, we have like our comments and then the and then the chat on Discord and our private chat here. Princess Rose said, okay, I know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but would you describe the dragons as more epic or more towards the cute side?
I don't know. I think they're really cute, but they're also like quite like epic. I don't know. There's like, they're epically cute. Like I'm kind of like when I first saw the prototype, I was like, oh my god, I love it. But they also had like, you know, a bit of to them. So.
Ooh, someone just Subspace, who also had the idea for breeding the dragons, said it would be cool if we can 3D print our dragons.
Yeah. Okay, Subspace, who are you? Do you want to just like
do you want to join
priest at the Temple of Wonderland? You're amazing. Does the type of egg at the moment determine the rarity of the dragon after the hatching? Yeah. Yeah. You know what, like, you'll get the egg and then it'll be like, you got this kind of dragon or you got this kind of dragon. And you'll know like there's different colored eggs and different designs, and you will know the rarity of it before it hatches. You just won't know like what he will look like or what his little quirks will be, or her.
I love that someone said when you were talking about the aesthetic, like Ultima Online style, because I'm an old school gaming geek. So props to you, Rezik. I appreciate that comment. Minoc, Cat Skills.
Are you pinning all the comments?
Yeah, he's pinning some of them.
Oh, cool. Okay, I was wondering who's pinning them. That's cool. That's sick. Yeah, no, this is. I'm honestly like really excited about this. This is like really surreal that I'm talking about this because it's been something that I haven't really been able to talk about for such a long time. And so thanks for letting me be here.
Yeah, how long has it taken to build this from like conception to now?
I mean, it's just been a lot of hard work and hours. So just, I know like that
all
like,
of 2020. I
just know that a lot of people didn't sleep.
It looks like it too. I mean, like just the way I mean, for the second that that I stumbled around in DCL for a moment.
Yeah.
Before
but we started kind of like doing this all in February, so it did take a while.
Wow. No, I feel like that's really fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's people are talented
whole
and
team of people.
hardworking.
Yeah.
If you want it, you will do it. Maybe
yes.
Not always.
100%.
Most of the time, if you work hard.
Where there's a will, there's a way is a saying for a reason.
Yes,
for sure. What else? Do we have any other questions that I might have missed in text here.
While you look for that, Heather, I just wanted to mention, when I was doing some research prior to this, and I looked at how you talk about music as being part of escapism. It was for you, and it's part of why you make the music that you do. I think it's super cool that you're taking that to the next level here, and you're creating a whole different type of escapism that at some points will be paired with your music, right, for concepts, but it can
100%.
live independently of it.
Honestly, like all the visuals, all the aesthetics of my space in Decentraland is very much cohesive with a show you would go to of mine, all my visuals.
I know art kind of just is created hand in hand with everything around you as far as influences and what you're doing, what you're into, but is there going to be music that's made specifically for this, or can you envision something like that happening, right? You're really inspired by being in the space and you make a song.
I can envision, a lot of creative things happening. Not really sure how much I can tell you though. Again, like you guys are trying to get everything out of me. When I'm like, I'm trying to build this shit slowly and like, really be stable about it. But you know what? This
is all coming from genuine interest. So, not trying to make you leak too much alpha, but we do, we are a community that supports and will be happy to put it to good use if we get any. Someone actually asked, what can we expect from the quests? They love the lore and behind. Is there anything that you could tell us to give us a little insight on what the questing will be like?
Again, like we're still, this is only the start. So we're still kind of going to be like building more and more levels to this, and more will be revealed. Like this is a super deep kind of thing that I'm building, and there's a lot of kind of back end and history with this, and we're working with Decentraland on it, like and they're helping with it. But this is genuinely just kind of like the first step, and it's the tip of the iceberg. So I just need you to trust me that this is going to be bigger. You guys gotta stop asking me for all the freaking spoilers.
Hey, you know what?
It's not fun.
Justin got straight to the point. He's like, is there any alpha that you can leak today?
Oh boy.
Man, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe the hatching
I'm so nervous. I'm holding my
crystal.
crystal. I'm like, this is how nervous I am. I'm holding a crystal because I'm like, I don't know what to say.
I do the same.
Well, let's pivot for a little bit. We did have some questions with regards to you and your music and what you're doing right now. People were talking about the songwriting process for you and what, how does that come to you? What do you typically have for a creative process? I know you were trained as a classical musician, and obviously now you're in something very different.
It's different, but it's also still the same. Look, creatively, when I'm writing a song, it's always inspired by emotions. It's never really inspired by like places or spaces or experiences. It's definitely heavily reliant on how I'm feeling on the day. And I usually try and start and finish like the demo song on the day, because I really do feel that you can't really recapture how you're feeling. You're going to feel different every single day of your life. So for me, it's really important to just kind of like get the main bare bones of the song done in a day. And, I'll start usually with like a synth, like chord progression, and then build around that. And then I'll start hearing melodies, and then lyrics kind of flow. For the most part, I write lyrics around the melody. But there is a couple of songs which I have done recently where I had written just as poetry, because I do write poems as well. And then turn them into a melody later. But I find it easier to write as I'm working on the melody.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard coming up with the melody to a feeling too. And I don't know, I feel like all of songwriting is typical. It's like you can get stuck on any one part, but I don't know, for me it can be difficult.
I feel like for me, just because when I was really young, I was like in speech therapy for like 3 days a week. Wow, I actually never tell anyone this. And it was really hard for me at school, and I'd have to draw things called mind maps, if anyone was in speech therapy and understands what I'm saying. But I found it really difficult, the way that my mind is wired, to get my thoughts out and actually say what I was thinking. And it was really, I would get frazzled. And it's kind of like the way I'm wired is like there's 1,000 things going on in my head. It's still hard for me to even like streamline my thoughts now, but it's a lot easier. But I had to learn how to do this thing called mind mapping, which was, you know, slowly being able to individualize my thoughts and put them down on paper. So I've always kind of written words and lyrics, and I didn't realize that it was going to help me so much as a songwriter. But, you know, the biggest trick for me, if anyone is listening, is to never overthink it. And usually your first idea is the best. So I usually go with my first idea and go, well, that's it. Keep it simple.
It's really true.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Especially like, you know, when you can't, like you said, you can't recapture that feeling. And that's why you want to finish your demo on the first day, because if you try to come back to it a week later or something, there's something that isn't alive anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Subspace sorry, I was going to go to one more question.
No, go ahead, Heather.
Subspace was asking, did you go into poetry because it is the densest form of explaining your thoughts? That's a good question.
Not really sure. I think genuinely it came from me not being able to. I just had like a lot of difficulties at school, and in terms of communicating or being able to be verbally communicative, which is probably why I'm so good at it now. But it's like something that I had to rehearse and practice for like years and years and years. And that included writing things down. And so I think like for me, I just found it like a way to, you know, if something's going to rhyme with something, then I can like find, it's like an easier like puzzle piece for me. I wouldn't say it's because it was the densest. It's just kind of, again, like it's not, I didn't really think about it. It's just what I gravitated towards. And I think the things that, you know, where I ended up most of the time, it was because I was doing it because I loved it and I just gravitated to it from like a really primal part of me rather than thinking it through, which, you know, I'm not sure if that's good advice to everyone, but like that's usually where my best ideas and risks have come from. But yeah, I just had like a lot of trouble like being able to process my thoughts. So I had to just work hard at it. And yeah, poetry was, I actually never talk about this. Like, I don't think I've ever said this in an interview ever. But yeah, I was a bit of, yeah.
It helps a lot of people. I mean, I know you're not the only one. Yeah. I mean,
literally someone in the community said, as a school psychologist, what you're saying about your experience is very impactful and they can appreciate you sharing. So, you know, today we're much better at recognizing each child's individual strengths, but we still have a long way to go. Right. And
yeah, I definitely was like very misunderstood in it. And like, you know, I think because of my problems communicating and being social, like teachers weren't very, like, I have a couple of great teachers that I always remember who like genuinely saw me, but most people didn't. And I wasn't understood, which is, you know, I guess like if I look back, I don't really regret it because I had to just fight a little harder than everyone else to be a person. But, you know, I'm thankful that I got those skills and I'm able to use.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's true.
Also shoving like speed down your throat. So, you know, it was
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, just medicating children. Okay.
Yeah, just on amphetamines all day. I love that.
But you know, it seems like our struggles, you know, it's really great when they can bring about art that brings people together. And it seems like you're creating this whole new universe that is going to help a lot of people too, and bring a lot of joy and excitement. So
yeah,
you know what I really like about that is, you know, you talk about as a child some of your experiences and how they shaped your perception of the world and how you interacted with it. And even, you know, like in the Underplayed documentary where you're talking about gender inequality and things of that nature, you go into the metaverse and you create your identity. There's some people we don't know their sexual orientation, their skin color. We know them as a cool avatar and what they do in this space. And so it's really an opportunity for people to just free themselves from some of the, you know, the shackles of and nuance of society and social perception.
I think, you know, these days with social media and having to like put yourself out there or feeling the pressure to do that. There's a lot of instant opinions, which I think is very toxic. And it can be hard to really express yourself or feel confident enough to put yourself out there as really who you are. I think it's getting better. And I think, you know, the newer generation are helping with that by, you know, just making sure that everyone feels accepted. But for some people it is really hard. And again, like having social anxiety in real life, it's pretty difficult to really represent what you're fully about when you feel like intimidated by many people around you. Not intimidated as in like threatened, but like more just like quiet and like you don't, I don't know. I never really feel like I ever represent myself properly when I'm you know, in a big group of people that I don't know that well. If I know them well, it's another story. But
Right.
No, I hear that.
Well, you don't know us well, and you're representing yourself great. So maybe
that's because we're in the metaverse.
Ah, I see.
It's different. You're comfortable
because I'm
here.
sitting on my bed. I've got my crystal.
I did want to make sure I asked this because someone specifically asked if I would ask you. You talked about your influences for, you know, the project with your, you know, love for Dungeons and Dragons and 80s fantasy. I know you've talked at length at different times about your various influences musically, right? Early and what you would like, from Prodigy to Pumpkins, Radiohead, etc. Someone asked, can you ask her, what is she listening to lately that she digs that would surprise people?
My new music.
Your new music.
Great answer.
It's gonna be surprising.
And great question.
Yeah. As I'm like, and I know that sounds like that came out so wrong, but like honestly, because I'm working on it right now and I am taking risks and evolving, like, yeah, I think this is the best shit I've made.
Awesome.
Can you talk about who's influencing you?
Myself.
That's awesome.
I don't
so
really
hard to
listen
know, too.
to anyone else like when I'm writing, like genuinely I don't. But again, you know, like I'm really, if I can segue into anything, and people, this is so weird. People get really mad at me for saying this, but I'm really fucking excited for the new Kanye album and I need it to come out. I'm a huge Kanye fan.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I just need it to come out.
I'm not sure when the drop date is. Do you know, Nightmare?
It was supposed to be on Friday, and then he just like
Didn't
he
do
just
it.
does this. He just does it. He just does it.
Yeah, they're fine tuning it. I like that he had that track with Jay, so that was big to see. And Kim was literally in the audience in Atlanta, so that was interesting given some of the subject matter. So I think he's gonna add some more fire to it, and we'll see. I love Kanye as well. For all the heat he gets, I think he's a genius.
He's like literally one of the best artists, if not the best artist of our time, and the reason being that he always takes risks. Right. And he's always pushing things, and I respect that so much. People are so scared to do that, and like it really inspires me to try new things. And if I fail, I fail, and if I don't, I don't, and I'll just keep trying.
Right.
I just love him.
There's a whole generation of people in hip hop right now that say 808s and Heartbreaks was what really got them into it, because it kind of bridged the type of music that they could make and showed them it could be different from what it traditionally had been.
Let's be real. T-Pain did it first.
I'm not saying it's right, but it's what he says. It's what these people are saying are their influences.
I mean, 808s is, but like you should listen to the T-Pain interview about that. T-Pain's amazing, by the way. Like he's so fucking good. Have you seen his Tiny Desk series?
Singer. Oh my god! Yes.
Oh my god!
Love him. Like, why were you hiding that?
I like his recent comments on his blog, also on his podcast there.
Yeah, the Usher one.
The one he was talking about music today, do something different. I thought. It was cool.
I just think he's such a cool artist. Anyway, go watch his Tiny Desk series after you see me here. It's good. You won't be disappointed.
It's so good. I love his voice. Yeah. Before my mic went limp, I was saying his voice is amazing. We had one more question, and then. Oh, how do you make the rainbow come through?
Here we go.
Crystal.
There we go. No, I'm just trying to
I'm
filtering.
Crystal filter.
Yeah. Whoa! Do you see that?
Yeah, I can see two of you.
Hell yeah. Sweet. That's me. That one of them is me at Lola, and one of them is me at the hatching ceremony. Holy shit.
So, oh my God, that works really good, actually.
Sorry.
So, no, this is amazing. So I have one more question from the group, and then Adam from your team said that he was able to come on and drop some alpha, and he'll also announce the winners of the giveaway. So you don't have to be scared about what you can and can't.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Talk about.
Leave it to Adam. I also have to go pick up my dog soon, so I can't.
All right. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. It's usually about an hour. So the one question is, will the dragon battling be more akin to the Magic the Gathering with NFT item power-ups, or subject to training and upscaling like you would in an 80s game? Like you can't buy your way into winning.
Damn, I don't know the answer to that yet.
That's very nuanced. Someone's ready. Someone's ready to participate and take part of the quest.
But you know what? I like questions like this, and please never be shy to ask things like this, because not only does it challenge me to do more things or ask more questions or even develop more things, but it also like gives me ideas. So
yeah.
So tell you what I think we should do. Let's bring Adam on, and then Hi, Adam.
But basically, all of that is possible. Like when he's like both sides of things, we're just still obviously developing it.
Right.
And we're, there's a lot to go. So,
yeah.
So be patient.
We're trying. It's just so cool.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the space is so new too, right? So you're only limited by the technology that sort of exists today. Blockchain gaming is just at the start of what I feel would be the experiences of what we want to deliver. But, we're happy to evolve with the tech and evolve with the community as well, which I think is really important. So, there's and I think it's really hard for, Alison Wonderland to speak so openly and transparent about the project itself, because we are exploring it. We started working on it in February, and it's, and that was really the community aspect of the virtual world and the utility and benefits that can come with the smart contract. I'm a real romantic when it comes to really great, well-written smart contracts that allow you to do a lot of things that are on chain. And, and I think when speaking to, what we wanted to do and how we wanted to go about it, and when I say we, it's, Alison Wonderland, a team of people that's, her spearheading it. It's, from our standpoint, it's like, how do we bring it to life? And one part is like phase one. It's like, okay, well, let's bring the virtual world experience with shows and experiences alongside that in an interesting way. And Decentraland's been amazing to be able to work with on these things, because, at the end of the day, everyone's evolving. They sold 90,000 parcels of land 4 years ago, but only really started building a year ago, really. So, and here we are with a, Harry Potter Great Hall meets Temple of Doom. So I know that Alex has got to get going, but I'm happy to speak for 5 or so minutes about the project itself as well. But from our standpoint, it's like being very focused on utility and benefits is very clear from the get-go. Where we wanted to launch and have things in play, and others develop in the long term. Where we've already done 2 different builds into Decentraland. We've done 2 separate airdrops. It's been an eye-opener for the team in general to understand how green some of the community still is, which is really, really special. There's, like I know that you touched on before about how NFTs and, there is a lot of noise out there about NFTs, but it's not converting to that of actual users. And it was very clear when we started onboarding Alison Wonderland Wanderers with the red cloak, how green that was, because the public addresses that we were receiving were actually house addresses. And, that was very common. Yeah. It's happened, but it's been amazing that, we've been able to onboard so many before even going to the NFT community and having them experience this in some way is because of the power of the smart contract, right? So, and allowing people to have a virtual ticket, either by owning an egg or having the dragon in perpetuity versus that of the cloak, which we can give access to different points in time, which is really special, all with scarcity, which which is epic. So yeah.
So, did you want to announce the winners of the egg giveaway as well as the
Announce
robe
them. Say,
giveaway?
I gotta go, and
Gotta get her
I just
doggy.
I want to be like, yeah.
Alex, yeah. We'll do like this. The list is big, so
You know what?
I had to go-
Hold up. I have a soft spot for any pet in the waiting. Alison Wonderland, thank you so much for joining us today. As you could tell, we were very excited about it. We continue to be. A lot more questions might come in. We'll send them to your Discord, and you and your team can talk to everybody over there. But again, thank you for spending the time. We'll wrap up with Adam.
Thank you so much. That was really fun. And for whoever wins, congratulations. I am excited for you. And together we quest. This is like me and Adam always like together we quest, and it's like a very
Together we quest. I love it.
But thank you guys, and thank you to anyone that believes in my project. Genuinely, thank you. I know that it's like always weird to like see something new come into this space and not really know what it's about or exactly who the person is behind it and stuff like that. But it really means a lot to me, and thanks for believing in me. So yeah.
Thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for your time and
Thanks.
your honesty and openness. And we'd love to have you back and can't wait to see how this evolves.
Hell yeah.
So cool.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. All right, Adam, now you can leak the real alpha. Now you can let us know all the details.
Look, at the end of the day, I think we're being very transparent from the get-go, right? Like, yeah. So I think the thing for us was that we wanted to have utility from the start. And, what the things that we're planning, obviously there are different metaverses that have different, like USPs to them. So, what we're wanting to do with Decentraland will be very different from other metaverses in general. But, the biggest part for us is to make it inclusive and a community that has their own, storytelling aspects. But, the quests themselves are really cool. I feel like it's pretty vanilla to airdrop someone something, but at the end of the day, it's what it is. And one of the benefits of having a smart contract is because of that. But, being able to receive rewards because you've got to do things is really something that I feel we can explore in a strong way with Decentraland. Starting to bridge that gap in terms of entertainment in the virtual world as well. But the stuff that we're looking through, that we're happy and comfortable with is that I think, we're wanting to elevate the performances and the experiences within the Temple of Wonderland. And the team at Decentraland has been amazing in terms of what they can do and what they can deliver. So, like that, combining it with the quest, you'll see a lot more from 1st of August, and that's only because they haven't released what they're doing yet either, so, but then, what we may be doing in other metaverses is different experiences, and, like those partnerships that are on which is a great indication of where we're going on our site, real, like the legitimate things. It's just, if when you build in the metaverse at Decentraland, it can be a 5 to 6 week build time. It's a lot longer to build a game, as you can imagine. So we're wanting to explore that with the community more than anything else, because I feel like everyone has different aspects, but like the branding, the aesthetic, what we feel strongly about is like it's all a vision from the top down. But at the end of the day, how we want to make these games is something that we will continue to work on whilst the tech continues to evolve. But yeah, I think there's something really great about having an egg in the first Genesis series of something like this, where the smart contract enables you to be able to hatch it. It's not a swap. So in a lot of traditional NFTs here, it's like you wait 10 days and then you see what you end up with, for instance. Whilst here, you've got the opportunity to hatch whenever you want it to. So, and those abilities over that time period of rewards and other things are things that we're exploring. But, like they're also somewhat unwritten. We're not here with a very stringent rule book. It's more so like, what do the community want? There's voting rights, there's governance, there's all these different types of things that I think have been really powerful in terms of building communities, and that's what we're wanting to do. So yeah, I think I can't remember. Was it who? Like, I want to talk to him because I heard them. Like, I think it's interesting because it's like, what people get, what they associate for, what they may enjoy is different from others. But collectively, I think we're here to try and just bring great experiences to blockchain, right? And really leverage what an NFT may be in the future. And at the end of the day, all we can guarantee is that in perpetuity, these experiences via the WonderQuest will have access to all these things by holding an egg or a dragon. And yeah, I think that's the exciting part. Sorry if I didn't give away too much, Nytmare, but hopefully that's yeah.
No, that's good. People are very interested. Like, what's the difference if they hold their egg and don't hatch it, etc. So
yeah,
I appreciate
yeah, for sure. And like whale community would know, like there's a staking mechanic, which is something that you can receive rewards from for holding things longer or holding onto things at all. And I think there's a whole heap of different things that we're planning to reward people with. And if 2 sets of robes before a release date's any indication, you pretty much once it's sold out, like there's some pretty epic stuff to come. But it just doesn't stop there because it's, like you can do all these things by knowing, someone's public address. So, it's a never-ending story, something that keeps us all up, but very excited at the same time to continue to
An appropriate description given her love for 80s fantasy.
Yeah, totally.
Story.
Yeah. There's a lot of nostalgia. All right, so let's am I going to share my screen for this? Yeah.
Yeah, we like to be transparent about
I was just
who wins, or they like to say the game is rigged if one of the mods win or something like that. But I didn't enter. I was trying to be nice, even though I really want that robe.
There were a whole heap. I was typing these out whilst listening before, so I was slightly distracted a little bit. But there's lots of people in here.
What a wheel!
It's a pretty sick wheel. All right, are we gonna click to spin? Yeah.
Or press
ready?
Control to enter. Either one.
Control.
All right, guys.
Oh shit! How exciting! All right.
And this is
sounded like a good click.
This is for the wearable, right? And doing and
FOL.
FOL. Who dat?
Hopefully I typed that right.
That person.
Did I type it right? Hopefully.
Oh yeah, they're a person.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Full FOL. Shall they DM you with their Ethereum address?
Or even, Nytmare or Heather, and we'll get that over.
We'll sort it out. Yes.
Yep.
So.
And that was for wearable?
Yes.
Okay.
And then go for it, Heather. Sorry.
I was just going to say the wearable is for entry to the party it's August 1st at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yes. And it's in Decentraland in the Temple of Wonderland. I'm going to share that link in a moment in stream text. And then we have our drawing for, this was the Twitter challenge for the egg.
Now, can I just say that given her enthusiasm and what we've heard tonight, I think that performance in Decentraland is going to be bananas. Like, that's going to be a must-attend event.
Yeah. The recording and everything else that she's, she specifically did it for this. So, yeah, it's really cool. And then, the lighting and the way that they're starting to, build this out from a Decentraland aspect. Pretty cool. Like the whole thing. Obviously, you got limitations of platforms, right? So you've got to understand that. But where it can evolve to in the future, it's
right,
mind-bending. But yeah, for what it's worth, there have been other performances done at Decentraland, and we're pretty confident this will deliver way beyond that, which is epic.
Awesome. So this is for an egg, right?
So this is for the Black Dragon, which I think is 4.5%. So it contains, only 450 of these Black Dragons within the 10,000, I think.
Okay.
So who is the second winner? Or we didn't do that
we
yet?
don't know. I'm about to spin it. Yeah.
Oh no, that was okay. I thought that was the
Wasn't it the rope
challenge. The Twitter challenge was supposed to. All right. Well, I guess.
You know what? We'll give one. We'll give another Black Dragon. We'll do it.
Wow.
Is that all right?
Wow,
Yeah, we'll do
that's
it.
so
Nice.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
because then it's
should
not
have
fair to the
entered.
people that like and retweeted and all that stuff. Man.
Yeah, but we'll,
All right.
we'll do 2. All right, ready?
All right, cool.
Solid control enter to follow.
It sounded like a good click.
Yeah.
Carlos.
Carlos. Who's that?
Carlos.
You here? I'm over here. FOL didn't answer. So I'm like, I don't know.
Trying to throw us off with a name that just seems so normal.
All right, well,
Wow.
yes.
Good for Carlos and FOL.
And then we'll
There's
do the
FOL.
Oh, there he go. They. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy or non-binary person. Hello. Congratulations, FOL, and congratulations, Carlos. FOL has won the wearable, and Carlos won the Black Dragon Egg, which sounds really cool. So excited. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for organizing this, for bringing Alison to our community, and making us aware of this amazing project. I'm so excited for it. And everybody stay tuned for the party in Decentraland. If you didn't win a wearable, you can get one, right? You can still buy one.
Well, they're all airdrop, but I think you can get some on the
They're all
secondary
airdrops.
market. Yeah, so
Okay.
I know that some people are selling them, but like at the end of the day, if this is any indication of what we've already done, there's a lot more of these things to happen in the future. So
Hint. But if you just want to really admire, you can come check out my avatar in Decentraland. I will be wearing my wearable, my red robe. It's very cool. And
So
can
you
see
were one of the early
secondary.
adopters, Nightmare. That was an early adopter one.
Listen, these guys know I don't play when it comes
Don't
to
mess around.
my geekdom and my fandom. I really do this. I really do this.
You were one of the
and I
very
do wanna-
few that sent through your public address correctly. Then I think is probably
it probably shocked everyone. Someone said I think the response was perfect. Wow, or something of that nature. I did want to add that, I'm just throwing this out there that it sounds like you'll have future events. And Heather here is actually a DJ, so we could throw a robe on her, make her look real,
Heather, let's run
real
it.
villainous.
Open for Alison.
She could open. She could be she could be on one part of the temple. As people come in, I'm sure she'd be down for that.
That's the whole point of like what Alison Wonderland's project, extends to. Like those warehouse parties that she used to run, like mini festivals in a way. Highly curated with lineups of amazing artists in general. So Heather, bring it on. Let's do it. Like,
All right.
we'll work it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get you into support on the 1st of August because there's a bit of work to be done. But we should plan because these are a regular occurrence, listening parties, meet and greets, the rest of it, and it is a community temple. Like at the end of the day. So
I would love to. I'd be honored.
Let's bill it. Yeah, done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, cool.
I'll be there
All
in
right.
robe, just encouraging a sacrifice or something.
You got to be the MC. What are you talking about? You're going to be the MC.
I mean, you're a hype man.
Nytmare is an amazing MC. You don't even know, Adam.
Bring it on.
But I'm sorry but we've got to wrap it up because we actually have another interview coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I have to go meet with them. We're going to be interviewing Bonsai by ZenFTs. So stay tuned for that, everybody. And thank you again, Adam. Thank you, Nytmare. And thank you, everybody, for your energy and presence. Congratulations to our winners, FOL and Carlos. And we'll see you all very soon. Bye. Have a great night.
Bye.